Yo, it's your guy Ben Duren, the illest film reviewer and fan, back again. And today I'm coming at y'all with this Jessica Jones season 3 review, son. And this season was obviously bittersweet with it closing out the Marvel Netflix world. Which is honestly why it took me so long to get around to watching it, because you never can say goodbye. No, no, no. That's me. I know. I like to hit y'all up with some singing every now and then, even though it sounds like crap. But this season was a lot of fun, man. And while not the ideal Marvel Netflix send off, in my opinion, it should have been Daredevil season 3. But with I believe, and I read this article where Jeff Loeb was talking about them canceling the Marvel Netflix shows to go the Disney Plus, or the Disney Plus route just blindsided them. But it was dope exiting this universe via Jessica. All that being said, this season, was not better than season 2 in my opinion, and nowhere near the greatness of season 1. But Kristen Ritter, man, like Charlie Cox and Daredevil and all that I love. Y'all already know I love Daredevil. That's my favorite fictional character ever in any medium ever. He's like the bedrock. If he's the bedrock, the OG, Jessica is like the heart and soul, in my opinion. Because Matt, you don't get Marvel Netflix the way it is without Daredevil setting the tone so well and so amazingly. But for Jessica Jones to come in and do this interesting take about trauma, and specifically with women who are victims of rape and things like that, and us getting to know Jessica through like that, you feel me? Like, makes her the heart and soul, man. Like you feel Jessica, bro. Like I just want to chill and smoke a blunt with her, you feel me? Hang out with her. I want to chase some bad guys with her, you feel me? Like, cause Jessica's cool, man. She's like the heart and soul. She's like the homie. Even though I would, Kristen Ritter, holla at your boy. It's like, nah. But man, like she breathes so much life into the character through her performance that wherever the writing is lacking or the show just like lulls or thuds to a stop completely, like it does a lot in this season, her performance pulls you up and gets you through it. She even elevates the performance of our co-stars, like everybody from Ika Doulis, I forgot what his name is, the guy who plays Malcolm. Like, every time they're together, man, like, going all the way back to when he was, the mindless drug addict in season 1 to now being this, like, kind of like a James Bond type of badass dude, like, but seeing them play off of each other and everything, riffing and everything was just so dope. And even though, as you guys will hear coming up, even though Trish was not my favorite part of the season, just her and Jessica's interaction, Jessica and Dorothy, Jessica and Hogarth, Carrie Ann Moss, she elevates all of her co-stars. So that is always something dope to see from your leading actor. That's something I feel Charlie Cox doesn't do in in Daredevil. Not to knock Charlie Cox, because he does an amazing job in the show, but he doesn't elevate his co-stars the way Jessica does and the way Kristen Ritter does. So yeah, but like I said, her performance is dope, and the detective noir feel to the show is and what has always put it over as one of Marvel's best projects, in my opinion, and the MCU. One of their best. I think Marvel Netflix is one of their greatest crown jewels, with obviously the MCU and the Infinity Saga and all that, the Avengers. But I put Marvel Netflix right there, and that detective noir aesthetic allowed for a unique exploration of Jessica, as she's forced to come to terms with the responsibility, for the most part, as she tells you so often, burden of being the hero a lot of folks see her as on the show. And though that's cool to sift through, it's cool to go through all that, I always kind of hate when shows, especially comic book shows, touch on, what it means to be a hero trope, because most projects rarely execute it without it coming off heavy-handed and kind of cheesy. And I guess I'll start with my negatives of the season, because to be honest, that heavy-handedness happened very much so here for me, especially with Trish's arc. And it's weird because they delivered on that, the heroes, the what it takes to be a hero trope and everything. They delivered that with Daredevil season 3, with Matt's epic crucible of the hero's burden to the nth degree, and emerging from it not just a better hero but a better person. However, with Trish, her exploration came off as very surface level and shallow. And maybe that was by design, because as I was writing this, and was just thinking, maybe they did that to juxtapose her to the reluctance of Jessica to be the hero and prop Jessica up as the true hero. But one, following Trish around like we usually do with Jessica doing their detective stuff, was boring because Trish just wasn't as layered and interesting as Jess up until that point. And two, Trish is kind of a garbage person and annoying already. Her arc started out as predicted. Annoying. I mean, going back to season 2, she manipulated her way into powers that was forced onto Jessica against her will, and then proceeded to kill Jessica's mother out of some narcissistic Karen-esque sense of, no, not that Karen, sense of heroism, with little thought to how that would affect her sister that she claims to love. And the writing and explanation of that process was just extremely convoluted and so against the character they'd crafted, to the point of season 2. And I love the character a lot from season 1 and parts of season 2, and our small, small roles in Defenders. But and how she was Jessica's, morale and like her compass. And when it comes to you saying you're that to that person, that's kind of very annoying, you feel me? And it's like her lust for power and self-aggrandizement, it just wasn't executed in a way that made me care or understand the character. And it got even more annoying and cringe as the season progressed until Salinger killed Dorothy. And Trish just lost her fucking shit and went full fucking Hellcat. That's when it got interesting. And that's when she became layered as a character. We got to see her upbringing, her backstory, and how her mother's, physical, psychological, and emotional abuse created the narcissistic sociopath we see her become. And it was like, Trish was really my biggest negative of the show. Salinger and how they handled him at times, because he had the potential to be like a Hannibal Lecter type of character, which they tried to obviously make him out to be. And I thought he was a good character. It's just that we didn't get enough time to go into it. Where I think you have 13 episodes, you had time to, and it's like I feel like they focused too much on Trish. And that was my problem. And again, I like Trish. The actress is good, dope, when she's actually given something, to do. But for the most part, it was just her walking around. Her action sequences were dope too, by the way. It reminded me very much of Electra's fight scenes from season 2. Just the way she fights was dope. The action, how they set it up was dope. But a lot of times, it was just her walking around, just looking annoying. Like a lot of times, like just looking at Trish was annoying a lot this season. And but I guess I'll just move into my likes now, because I have to say another foil aside, and like I said, I thought a negative of the show was having Trish as a foil to Jessica, but a positive foil, in my opinion, it had to be Hogarth, man, who, in this season she's dying from her disease. I believe it was ALS. Even while on her way to the grave, she still finds a way to be a conniving scumsicle. Like, her quest to steal her ex-girlfriend from her husband was just interesting and juicy as hell. But seeing her get what she deserves for all her scumbaggery, I don't even know if that's a word, but guess what? I'm coining it. It was the most fascinating part, because we know Hogarth is a piece of it, but the way Carrie-Anne Moss plays the sorrow and anger of the character as her body deteriorates, it's just amazing. And that last scene with Kith, when she leaves her to die alone, it's just devastating but so satisfying. It's like, yes, you get what you deserve, die alone. But it's like, oh, you did kind of do some good. Like, you got Danny off, you got the homie off, you help him beat the case. I think she represented Luke too. She represented Matt and the Defenders and everything. But she's actually a linchpin for bringing the Defenders together, because she told Foggy to represent Jessica, but Foggy got Matt to represent Jessica, and that's how the Defenders came together, through Jessica and Matt, and then them meeting at Midland Circle, yada yada. I want to do a Defenders, I'm gonna rewatch it and do a review and everything, because I like this Marvel Netflix universe is amazing. But just continuing, my likes, Carrie-Anne Moss. So Carrie-Anne Moss and her character arc was definitely a like. Malcolm had a fascinating, amazing arc as well, right down to getting a blowjob from a stripper. But seeing him deal with this world that he basically was thrust in through Jessica, this seedy, just piece of it world where you deal with a lot of scumbag people, and when you're a genuine good person, it does things to you. So seeing him, adjust and trying to, fight back to fight back to being a good person again, it was cool to see. And seeing him like throw wrenches in Hogarth's plan and everything, all that, it was cool. So Malcolm was definitely a plus for me. I even liked Jessica's boyfriend. However, there's nobody's going to be as charismatic and command a screen as Mike Coulter as Luke Cage, man. Like everybody's like, yo, just let them get together. Like, and people love Rosario Dawson. You feel me? People love the character of the night nurse in the Netflix series, but I feel like forcing him to be with her when most people watching the shows wanted Luke and Jessica to end up together, it's like, come on. So, but he made an appearance this season, and it's they kind of allude to what's going on because Luke Cage, and I'm like I said, I'm gonna do a whole review of the Marvel Netflix series and just give my opinion on it. But seeing kind of hints and shades to what Luke's going through with him becoming basically the new crime boss of Harlem and everything was cool to see. But seeing him reflect on having to put Diamondback in jail, send him to the raft basically, it was interesting. And you see him and Jessica still have that. It's still, that flame is still there. I think it's still there, but just right now, it's not gonna happen with all their with all their stuff going on, but it's still there. But just the friendship that is the essence of their relationship period is still there. For him knowing she going through some stuff to come see her, man, it felt normal for Jessica, because with another character and another show, it would have came off as just like oh, they're just gonna shoehorn this guy in here. But it's like with her being basically New York's best detective, basically, kind of, it's like it would make sense for Luke to know about what's going on with her and go see her. So that was cool to see. But again, just because the boyfriend from this season, I'm drawing a blank on his name, because he wasn't that interesting aside from when he was interacting with Salinger. I've done pronounce his name like 3 different ways, but whatever. But his interactions with him, with him, and also with Trish and Jessica, because he's kind of a scumbag, but he's like Jessica. He was forced; these powers were forced upon him, and when he actually tried to do good with it, it backfired on him and screwed his family over. So. Yeah. So, but that's what the beauty of Jessica Jones is. It's people dealing with their shit, basically dealing with their trauma, and working through it the best way they can. It may not be perfect, but hey, that's the way they figured out how to get through it, good or bad. So. Also, I would like to shout out, yo, they had the raft in there, son. That's why I'm like, yo, Marvel, stop bugging, yo. Look, we know the whole beef between Feige and Perlmutter and all that, and Marvel TV and Marvel, the MCU proper, but people want to see these characters coexist with the MCU. Just do it the way you're doing it now. The shows are canceled now, but if they were to revive the shows on like Hulu or something and kind of connect it, like, they don't have to show up in the movies. Just have references, deeper references. Like the whole reason Daredevil season 1, the reason why Kingpin was able to do what he was able to do was because of the Battle of New York from the first Avengers film. So but hearing the raft name dropped in there was dope, because it's like, oh, yo, so we got Diamondback in there now. We got Trish. Apparently, they're talking about doing a Thunderbolts film. Put them in that movie. Like, put them in there. Like, and when I say put them in there, they don't have to be like the main cast, but like, Thunderbolt Ross is walking through the cells and everything, picking people to be part of the team. And they're like, oh, this person, she's a sister of Jessica Jones, or, whatever. Or just show her in a cell, show Diamondback. You feel me? Be like, when the panties drop. That's one of the best lines in the Marvel Netflix series, by the way. Just the part, literally the part he was like, this is always when Diamondback, he was like, this is always my favorite part. And Chase is like, what? When the panties drop. And he just like shoots the grenade launcher. Oh my God, Luke Cage is amazing. The blaxploitation feels with that. But but just reference it like that. So I think I covered everything, For the most part, like I said, I'll rate this. Oh, and the way it ended, they kind of like, like I said, they had a last minute cancellation basically where Jeff Loeb said they got blindsided by it, so they did the best they could with the ending. Jessica's not leaving, obviously. Hearing Kilgrave's voice talk to her was cool. So yeah, I'll give this season a solid 5.5. You know what, 6. I'll take it to 6. Solid 6 out of 10. Dope send off with Jessica. Like I said, I feel she's the heart and soul of the Marvel Netflix universe, and it was cool to go out on her. So as always, like, comment, subscribe, and share. Emphasis on the comments. This is kind of a long video, but especially with a TV show, it's going to be long because it's so much. I feel like I missed so much too. So like I said, I'm going to be doing like a Marvel Netflix series, about how I felt about the different shows. So I'm going to be rewatching them. Like, I'm rewatching Daredevil right now, starting with season 1, going to 3. So, but yeah, so like, comment, subscribe, and share. Let me know what you guys thought of Jessica Jones season 3 and just the series overall, how you guys feel about it, whether you like it or you hate it. Let me know. And go to the Filmatic Twitter page, talk to me there, the Facebook page, talk to me, baby. It's probably not politically correct to talk about Twitter right now, but whatever. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. Peace.
I thought the shit was looking up, but I guess now I'm out of time. Looking at the numbers on the wall, but you running through my mind. I'm starting to realize what I'm seeking for is seeming hard to find. And we're all falling right through space, and I'm out of time. But I keep falling now.